Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to the online session of your social science children. We have been seeing a lesson in your geography which is all about the climate of India, right? So in the first part we have seen what are all the factors that influence the climate, and we have seen what is weather, what is climate we have seen, and now we are going to see about the seasons in India. Right. So first let us see about summer season. So what is summer? We know that summer is a hot climate, right? Yes. So let us see now. Summer in India usually begins from late March. So the summer starts towards the end of the March. Okay. So how does it start? This is when the sun on its apparent northward migration from the Tropic of Capricorn crosses the equator on 20th March, okay, the spring equinox, and starts moving towards the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so sun, when it is moving, see the earth is rotating, we know that, we also know about the revolution also. So when the earth is rotating, what happens? When the sun from the Tropic of Capricorn, okay, so from this Tropic of Capricorn, above the Tropic of Capricorn we have equator, and above the equator we have Tropic of Cancer. So when the sun moves from this Tropic of Capricorn towards the north side, okay, so when it goes to the north side, okay, it crosses the equator on 20th March, okay, so on 20th March it crosses the equator. So this is called as spring equinox, okay. So when sun crosses this equator and it moves towards the Tropic of Cancer, okay, so it moves towards the Tropic of Cancer, and we know that Tropic of Cancer passes through India, right? So when it moves towards the Tropic of Cancer, the summer starts here, right? So now summers in India are always hot and dry, so it will be very hot always, we always say that, right? And then also it is very dry, and temperatures ranging from 35 degrees Celsius in the coastal areas to over 45 degrees Celsius in the northwestern parts of India. So the places which are near the sea, okay, the places which are near the sea will always experience moderate climate. Coastal area will have moderate climate, right? So moderate climate means it is neither too hot nor it is too cold, okay, the climate will be in a balanced nature. So the coastal area's temperature would be 35 degrees Celsius, around 35 degrees Celsius. The same way the northwestern parts, okay, northwestern parts are the places where these Punjab, Rajasthan, all these places are covered, okay. So towards these northwestern parts the temperature is 45 degrees Celsius. Moving on to that, different parts of India experience local storms at this time. So the chances of storms are also there. What is meant by storm? Storm is nothing but the heavy wind. Okay, storm is heavy wind. And then, so the example for such storm is the Loo. Okay, Loo is a storm which is very hot, dusty and a dry wind, okay, that blows from the Thar desert into the Gangetic plain, right? So Thar desert, we know that, see, in India the northwestern part we have Thar desert and the Gangetic plains are located here. Yes, this is plain, Gangetic plain. So this wind blow in this direction towards the Gangetic plain, okay. So it is a very hot, dusty and dry wind. Why is it hot and dusty? Because it blows from the desert, okay. So that is why it is very hot and dusty. Now nor'westers or Kal Baisakis are heavy thunderstorms that occur in West Bengal. So in the same season towards the West Bengal, which is in the easternmost part of our country, right? So that West Bengal faces this thunderstorms. Okay, so rains are also possible during this storms. Okay, So nor'westers and Kal Baisakis or the thunderstorms of West Bengal. And then mango showers are sudden local showers experienced in South India. So this mango showers is experienced usually in South India. We always say it as summer rains, okay? Mango showers. That is all about the summer season. So now we are going to see about our favorite season, which is rainy season. Yes? So by the end of May, okay, the average temperature across the country are as high as 40 degrees Celsius. So overall in the entire country, the temperature is on an average, it is going to be 40 degrees Celsius during the month of May. Okay. So after that what happens? This heat, okay, that will cause the air to rise and the conditions of low pressure develops over northwest India. So when the temperature is very high, okay, that heat air, what will it do? The heat will cause the air to go up, okay. So when it goes up, what will happen? The pressure will reduce on the ground level, which means the low pressure will be created. This low pressure is called as in Tamil Katraltham, okay. So the low pressure develops over this northwestern parts. So what happens then? Cool air from the sea is pulled towards the low pressure area. So at that time what happens? The sea is always a cool place as it is filled with water. So what happens? The air is being pulled by this low pressure area from the sea. Okay. So the low pressure area which is experiencing hot climate, what will it do? It will absorb more air from the high pressure area, which means from the sea it takes the air. Okay. So here cool air from the sea is pulled towards the low pressure area, and air has a nature that it will always flow from high pressure area towards the low pressure area. Okay. So air flows from the area of high pressure to the area of low pressure. That's what I told you now. So since these winds blow from the sea, they carry a lot of moisture and bring rainfall to many parts of the country. So as the air is being flowed from the sea, okay, what happens? It creates lot of moisture. It has lots of moisture. Okay, because of that moisture we get rain. Okay, so that is how towards the end of the summer, during the May month, the rain starts. So here you could see first thing about southwest monsoon. Okay, southwest monsoon is nothing but the monsoon wind that starts from, we know that this is the northern part, this is the southern part, yes, and this is the western part, and this is the eastern part. Yes, we have the directions here. So this is the south and this is west. So this direction is southwest, right? So the wind that starts from Arabian Sea that goes towards our country, that is called as southwest monsoon, right? So this southwest monsoon brings rainfall to which places? We are going to see about that. So as they blow from the southwest, these winds are known as southwest monsoon winds. Okay, so it starts from the southwest direction, so it is called as southwest monsoon. Then when the winds hit the Indian mainland, okay, so when the wind directly hits the mainland, what will happen? They are forced to divide into two branches, the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. So here you could see the wind that starts from Arabian Sea, and as we know that this is the mainland of India. Okay, so when it hits the mainland, what will happen? It is divided into two. One is Arabian Sea branch and the other one is Bay of Bengal branch. You could see the arrow marks, the monsoon wind that moves directly to the country, and the other set of monsoon wind that goes around and it will enter the country from the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so that is what we are seeing about. So first let us see here the thick arrows, it would clearly make you understand. Yes. So when it starts from Arabian Sea, you could see that it enters towards the Kerala, right? It goes in this direction and it goes somewhere around this Rajasthan, Punjab, all these area. And the Bay of Bengal branch, it enters to the country through Bangladesh, Calcutta, Assam, yes, and then it enters Nepal, Bhutan, yeah, all these places are getting rainfall through this Bay of Bengal branch. The same way here, as I said, the places which are near to Western Ghats, okay, Western Ghats will receive more rain due to this Arabian Sea branch. Then, so as I said, the monsoon winds strike Kerala in early June and bring heavy rainfall. So as I said, you could see it first enters into Kerala. This is the place where Kerala is located in our map. Hope you know that. So this monsoon winds enters into Kerala first. Then what happens? As the winds move inland means it is going inside the country, they encounter the Western Ghats, which blocks them and forces them to rise and bring heavy rainfall to the areas that lie in the windward side. So we have seen about this windward side in the factors, right? In the same lesson, previous part, we have seen about this windward side. See, when the wind blows from this side, yes, first it hits Kerala, then what happens? Here Western Ghats are located. You could see that it is being marked there. So when Western Ghats are located, what will happen? This wind will go and hit Western Ghats and it will raise up, and that rainfall will occur in this area, right? Because the wind hits the mountain, what will happen? It will give rainfall to the windward side. So all these places comes under the windward side of Western Ghats. Windward side of Western Ghats. Right? So now, after that what happens? These include the windward side. What are all the places included in the windward side? It includes Kerala, even the parts of Karnataka and then Maharashtra, right? So the leeward side remains relatively dry. So the other side of the Western Ghats, which is called as leeward side. The other term for leeward side is, yes, it is called as rain shadow region. Hope you all remember these terms. So it is called as rain shadow region, okay. So that remains still dry. Now what happens? The winds get progressively drier as they travel further into India. So after this rainfall, the wind further travels into the country, but it becomes more drier, okay. Progressively means increasingly drier, okay. And what after that? In Rajasthan, they blow parallel to the Aravalli range and are thus unable to bring any rainfall to the state, okay. So as it becomes more drier, okay, after giving rainfall on the windward side of Western Ghats, it enters into the country more, and while it is entering, it is becoming more and more drier. So because of that, it is not able to give rainfall to the place where it reaches. That is in Rajasthan, it is not able to give any rains, okay. So now we are going to see about the Bay of Bengal branch, okay. So this Bay of Bengal branch, it starts from Arabian Sea, it goes to Bay of Bengal, and then it enters the country from this Bangladesh, Assam, Bhutan, Mizoram, all these places, right, Meghalaya, all these places. So as I said, after crossing the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, see here also you could see that when this wind blows from this side and it comes here, it should cross this Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and then only it will enter our country. That is, it will enter our mainland, okay. So the monsoon winds are forced to rise when they meet the Khasi, Garo and Jaintia hills in northeast India. Hope you all remember these mountains. Yes, Khasi, Garo and Jaintia hills are all the part of Purvanchal hills. Hope you all remember that, the eastern extension of Himalayas. So when it hits, it raises in northeast India. Thus the states of Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram, which lie on the windward side of the hills, they get more rainfall. Okay, so the windward side, it goes and hits the hills, so the places which are on the windward side will definitely get the rainfall. So the places are Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Now Cherrapunji and Mawsynram in Meghalaya are two of the wettest places on earth. Okay, Cherrapunji and Mawsynram, these two places are always very wet in nature. The winds then hit Himalayas, which block them and force them to turn westwards and bring heavy rain to the states of West Bengal, Assam, Odisha and the windward slopes of the eastern Himalayas. So after giving rain in Meghalaya, the wind then turned towards the Himalayas. So now what happens? The Himalayas block them. Okay. So after it blocks, what happens? It will turn to the western direction, and there the states of West Bengal, Assam, Odisha and all these states, okay, and also the windward slopes of Himalayas. As it is getting turned with the Himalayas, the windward slopes of Himalayas will also get heavy rainfall, and after that the monsoon winds then travel westwards along the Indo-Gangetic plain. Okay, so this is somewhere near this Nepal and Bhutan, and from there it turns towards the west, and we have seen that Assam, West Bengal, Odisha, all these places get heavy rain, and after that it again moves towards the Indo-Gangetic plain. So there what happens? Again it rains. Okay, so here the places which gets rain are Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Haryana, Delhi and Punjab gets rainfall now. Okay, so this Bay of Bengal branch, it gives rain to more places, right? Next, with that we have come to the end of the rainy season. Now we are going to see about the spring, right? So the spring or autumn. Okay, so here after the autumn equinox on September 22, we have seen spring equinox on March 20 and autumn equinox on September 22. Okay, the sun continues its apparent movement south towards the Tropic of Capricorn. So what is spring equinox? Sun moves from the Tropic of Capricorn, goes towards the north in the equator, and then it reaches the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so that is the summer season for us, and from there sun again travels this side. Okay, that is it comes towards the south. Yes, so from Tropic of Cancer it again comes back to Tropic of Capricorn. So this happens during September 22. So the sun starts moving southwards. Okay, so that is called as autumn equinox. So as a result, Indian subcontinent starts cooling. Okay, so the autumn or the retreating monsoon season, retreating means getting back, returning. Okay, so the monsoon winds which has gone in is returning back now. Okay, so Indian subcontinent starts cooling. After that, in northern and central parts of India, days are pleasant and nights are cool. So it is not very hot, it is not very cold, it maintains a normal temperature now. As North India grows colder, conditions of high pressure develop over it. So wherever the place is getting more cold, okay, high pressure will develop. Wherever the temperature is hot or wherever the place is hot, the low pressure will form there. Okay, so as North India becomes more cold, what will happen now? High pressure creates in that area, and conditions of low pressure develop over the warmer waters of the seas in the south. So North India, when it is on high pressure, what happens here? South India becomes warmer and low pressure develops in South India. So because of that, what will happen? Monsoon winds start retreating or blowing back to the sea. So southwest monsoon, when we have seen, it started from Arabian Sea, it had two branches and it entered into the country from the southern direction. Yes, but now what is it going to happen? High pressure is there in North India, low pressure is there in South India. So as I said, air will flow from high pressure towards the low pressure. So what will happen now? Air will start blowing back. Okay, so now the monsoon winds start retreating or blowing back to the sea. So the wind which has gone from the sea is now again coming back to the sea. So the period from October to December is therefore referred as the retreating monsoon season or the northeast monsoon season over the peninsular India. So this period of October to December is called as retreating monsoon season, or it is also called as northeast monsoon season, right? So now here you could see after this summer the wind blows this way, south west monsoon, and now what happens when the winter starts, the wind blows the other way, which is northeast monsoon. Now we are entering into the next topic, winter season. So in this winter season, by this December 23, the sun is shining directly over the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, so we don't have much hot climate in India, especially because Tropic of Capricorn is somewhere far away from our country. So the Tropic of directly over the Tropic of Capricorn, its limit in its apparent journey south. So it is traveling towards the south, and in North India this season is characterized by clear skies, light northerly winds, low humidity and temperatures, and large daytime variations of temperatures. So during this period what happens, as the sun is away from Tropic of Cancer, the northern part of our country, yes, we can see clear skies and of course light northerly mild winds of northern direction, and then low humidity. We are not feeling very hot during this climate, and the temperature is also less, and then large daytime variations. During the daytime itself we could see many variations in the temperature, and days are cool and nights are very cold. Okay, so during this winter season daytime itself is cool and the night time is even more cool, and January is the coldest month, with temperatures falling below freezing in the Himalayas, leading to snowfall. So January becomes very cold in the northern part of the country, and in Himalayas the temperature goes beyond the freezing, below the freezing point, which means it goes in negative also, right? And South India experiences warm days and cool nights. So here it is not that freezing cold in South India, we have a warmer day and of course the cooler night. And some parts of South India such as Tamil Nadu and Kerala received rainfall in December. Usually in December we get rainfall, especially in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Then cyclones originating in the Mediterranean Sea cause light rain and snowfall over the northern states of Punjab, Haryana, Delhi and Himachal Pradesh. Okay, so cyclone forms in the Mediterranean Sea, which is located close to the northern states. So that cyclone will cause rainfall in the northern states, especially in Punjab, Haryana, Delhi and Himachal Pradesh, and these cyclones are known as western disturbances. Okay, it starts from the western part of our country, and that is why they are called as western disturbances. With this we have come to the end of this lesson, children. Thank you. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.